Hey everyone, welcome to PastorChef again. Again, it is Christmas time.
Yep.
Duncan, here's a Christmas meal. What are we doing today?
Andy, today we are looking at what we can do with leftover food from Christmas, something delicious. So we're working with ham on the bone.
Yum, looking forward to it. Let's do it.
Andy, while we are preparing this beautiful Christmas dish,
Yum.
what are you going to talk about today?
Oh mate, it is right here. It's part 2 in our 3-part series about Christmas. We're going to talk about love, the fact that I love a good burger, Duncan.
You love a good burger?
I love a good burger. Today's not about burgers though.
I love a good afternoon nap.
I agree. Come on, high five for that
High
one.
five.
Yeah, right there. All right, mate, where do we start with this today?
Okay, so first we've got this lovely little piece of ham, which is ham off the bone.
Which is the leftover ham that we're talking about
That's
after
right.
Christmas lunch.
That's right, and all we're going to do is cut that into nice big chunks. So you can start
going?
cutting, nice
All right.
big chunks, sort of like 2 centimetre dice, because we want this ham to be like the hero of the dish.
2 centimeters, that's big to, for
nice
rice.
big chunks, yeah. And what we're going to do is we're going to glaze it in the oven. And we're just going to put on some maple syrup, toss that together and put it on a really high heat. And that's going to get lovely caramelisation on the outside of the ham. Do you like ham?
Love ham, yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
My kids love ham. How's that?
That's perfect.
Perfect?
Absolutely
Good.
perfect.
All right, I'll get going on this.
So Andy, when you're talking about love,
Yeah, love, yeah. Well, love is one of those words that kind of gets thrown around a bit at Christmas time, doesn't it? And I love catching up with my friends, or
Right.
we love being with our family, and it's good. But there is actually a much greater depth to that word when it comes to Christmas, and we believe that as Christians, and it's related to Jesus, that is really important for us to understand and remember. So we're going to talk about that.
awesome.
Yeah.
I think one of my favourite things about Christmas time is just that sense of love that you see in other people around you.
Yeah.
Whether it's your family, whether it's your own, just your partner going out and doing something special, or giving something to someone as well.
Yeah, gift giving, mate. It's an evidence of the love that we have. And you were saying something interesting before, that you love to give gifts more than you love to receive
That's
them,
right. Sometimes when I receive a gift, I feel a little bit, it's okay, you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
But giving a gift is like, do you love it? And I love seeing the look on their face, and especially when it's something useful.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think your message today is going to be more useful than any gift I've given in the past.
Well, we hope so. We do hope so. All right, that's done.
Time to don the glove again, mate. And then just pour the maple syrup over the top and give it a good toss together.
Ooh, this is the right size today. Very good.
Size.
Maple. So we've got half a jar.
You can tip it all in there. If you didn't have maple syrup,
I'm getting excited.
if you didn't have maple syrup, you could use honey, or you could use palm sugar syrup if you wanted to, or even just some brown sugar over the top and then just sort of massaged into it.
Sorry, mate.
I love Andy's sound effects when we're cooking.
Sorry.
You get a nice smell and he's like, oh.
Now, I'm just two
You
handing
put
this,
in the
so
non-glove
I don't-
hand.
Well, look, I already got ham all over it, so
Ham hands.
just once I'm already dirty, just get in there and do it.
Cool.
Right?
That's enough. Yeah, as
Okay.
long as it's coated.
Yep.
And then onto the baking tray with some baking paper there.
Tip it on out.
Yep. And all of the maple syrup as well.
Uh-huh.
And just spread that. Sorry about the noise here,
Ham,
guys.
see. Spread it all out nice and evenly.
Yep.
Now, this is going to probably be too much for one layer. Should this be more evenly spaced
No,
than that,
that's
ideally?
absolutely perfect.
That's okay.
Yep.
All right, good.
So what we're going to do is we're going to throw that into the oven. Well, we're not going to throw it, but we're going to put it into the oven.
Slide it into the oven.
Slide it into the oven gently.
Yeah.
210 degrees for about 15 minutes, and then
Beautiful.
we will be back.
Love it. Oh, Dunk.
Look at that.
That looks, mate, that looks
Might
so
do
good.
a high camera shot. Look at that.
And it smells so good as well. Oh.
And we're going to use the liquid maple syrup that's left in there in this dish as well. Okay.
Can I ask you,
Yes.
so if you're using this as leftovers the next day after Christmas, which you can, there's flexibility in this, whether
Yeah.
you've got leftover turkey or you've got beef or you've got seafood, whatever you're cooking and you
Absolutely.
do this,
Totally.
would you then recook that some way, or is what we're going to do next just pull it out of the fridge and just whack it in?
No, you could do this exact same method to all of them. So
Right.
you could even glaze the prawns, you could glaze chicken or turkey. Yeah, absolutely.
And if you've already got glazed ham, then you can double
glaze
glaze your ham. Yes, love it, love it.
Okay, so we've got a preheated hot pan here.
Yep.
And today's little twist is that we're going to turn this into a Thai fried rice.
Yum.
So something different, because all kids love fried rice.
Yeah.
And it's a good Christmas dish.
Eat it down.
Okay, so firstly, Andy, if you wouldn't mind grabbing a wooden spoon there.
Got it.
Just with some oil. We're going to put in just...
Stir the oil?
You can if you like. Just put in 2 teaspoons of chopped garlic.
Yep.
So the equivalent of about 3 cloves of garlic. And then we're going to put in some sliced white onion, just for the fried rice. You don't need too much, maybe about, I don't know, half an onion, thereabouts.
Probably don't need any, really, if you want.
I love the smell. I love the smell of garlic and onion.
I agree. The smell is beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful. Okay, got that?
Yeah, it's good.
Excellent. Now we don't want the onion to cook too long, so because we want it a bit crunchy and have that sort of sour sharpness of the onion as well through the fried rice. You want to caramelise it, don't
great.
you?
Oh no, I just don't want it in there.
And then we're going to...
I'm sorry.
We're going to have one egg. Now with this egg, Andy, what you can actually do is break up the egg and into lots of little bits like scrambled eggs. So some people put the fried egg or the egg into the fried rice at the end. And what it does then is it coats all of the rice and makes it really yellow and sticky. So, but if you put the egg at the beginning, fry it and separate it, you'll get nice little pieces of egg through the fried rice.
Great tip.
Yep. Excellent. Now we're going to put in some tomato.
Yep.
Just about 4 pieces or half a tomato. I love the fact that you tried to say that honestly, because I know that you do not love tomato.
Well, you know, sometimes you receive a gift at Christmas and, you know, you're supposed to really love that gift.
That's right.
And for the sake of the person giving the gift, I love that gift.
Yeah, good. So a little bit more oil just because we're going to add some rice. This is just cold cooked jasmine rice. You could use basmati rice, you could use white rice.
Is there a deliberate reason why it's cold? Or is it just that it's been cooked earlier?
There is actually a deliberate reason. I mean, some people do say that because it's left over, what can you use it for? But there is actually an advantage also to using it cold in that it stays nice and separate. And you actually get this fried flavour through the rice as well. And then the rice starts to swell and absorb all the flavours. So but you can use hot rice straight from the cooker as well, no problem.
So would you encourage people, if people were doing this, like put a pot of rice on the night before, whack it in the fridge and then come back?
Sure.
Or whatever?
Yeah,
whatever's going.
Honestly, either way.
Yeah.
But with the hot rice, there's a lot of steam in there, so it becomes a bit wet. But with the cold rice, it doesn't have the steam, so it stays drier.
Really good.
So
really good tip.
Smells good already?
It smells really good.
Smells good. So some snow peas. They can go in there as well. You could use just normal garden peas as well.
Yep.
And then we've just got some carrot and some cabbage just grated.
That looks like wombok to me.
It is wombok. And then
there's Chinese cabbage in there.
There's Chinese cabbage. You know your veggies.
Oh, wow. Oh, we have a history.
You have a history?
I have a history with fruit and veg. Legit.
But you just didn't include tomatoes.
I sold a lot of tomatoes.
Sold a lot of tomatoes.
Just didn't eat many of them.
Then got some spring onion here.
The old shallots.
Yep. And then we're going to add just a little bit of sauce. Actually, before I add the sauce, we'll let this fry for a bit longer.
Yep.
I really want to get back to this love.
Yeah, love. And I said at the start, you know, we were chatting about it, and love is one of those interesting words that can be used to describe many different things, but I said that there was a bit of depth to love, and especially when it comes to talking about Christmas. Now, one of the things when it comes to love around Christmas, we can very easily love the people that talk about gifts, that have given us gifts, or that we are able to bless with gifts, and we love that interaction, and we love those people, and that can be family or it can be friends. But love doesn't really work when we think about people that we don't really enjoy being around or we don't like. There can be a struggle for us to have love in that context. People that have done us wrong in the past or any of those sorts of things. And when I think about the story of Christmas, actually, that very aspect of it is part of our story when it comes to our relationship with God. The fact is that all of us have sinned. We have fallen short of the expectation that God had for us. And it is via his son that came, Jesus, at Christmas time, born as a revelation of his love for us, that we are now able to be back in relationship with him. Our sins are forgiven. And there's this verse of the day. This is one of my favourite verses out of the whole Bible. Every time I think of it, it is amazing.
I'm feeling the excitement here.
I hope so. It comes from Romans 5, and it says this. Let's have a look. In Romans 5, verses 6 to 8. When we were utterly helpless, Christ came at just the right time and died for us sinners. Verse 7. Now most people would not be willing to die for an upright person, though someone might perhaps be willing to die for a person who is especially good. And that kind of makes sense for us. This next verse, this is the one. This is the kicker right here. But God showed his great love for us by sending Christ to die for us. Not when we had it all together, not when we had met the mark, but while we were still sinners. It was while we were still sinners that God sent his son Jesus to die for us. And that is the context of love that I want to encourage everyone to think about, and for us to think about as we come around Christmas, this baby born as an aspect of God's great love for every one of us while we were still sinners, while we were against God, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Amazing. The word that just came into my head was sacrifice.
Yeah.
Like that sacrifice that he made to show pure love is the same thing that when we do have that conflict with someone, that we need to sacrifice our pride and all those feelings to show love to that person.
We ought to.
No matter what.
It's a really difficult thing.
Yeah.
But it's out of that knowledge of what God has done for us that we can then go forward and do that with other people. Very cool. That is love. That is the power of love. And I hope you remember that love when we come around the Christmas table and the whole Christmas season.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Good stuff.
All right. Mate, this is looking really fresh. This is looking really good.
Isn't it great? Lots of colour.
And it's so simple. I love that.
Yeah, and it is simple, and you can see that it's nice and loose, and you can hear it frying, which is wonderful. And that is something you do get from that day-old rice.
Yep.
Now, for our hero, Andy, I'll get you to grab that because the tray might still be hot. Maybe put in half, thereabouts, or however much you would like to eat. And I want to keep these ham chunks nice and chunky because I want them to be the hero in this dish. You could even save a few if you wanted to. Just present them on top.
Mate.
And that leftover maple syrup.
Yeah, that's going in there. Come on.
You can pour that in because with Thai fried rice, we have that balance of salty sweet. So we've got the sweetness from the maple syrup. We're going to add a little bit of oyster sauce in there as well.
Can I stir that?
Yeah, go for it, mate. Yeah, just about a tablespoon of oyster sauce. I think I just said oyster sauce.
Oyster sauce.
Oyster sauce. And then some soy sauce, which will just add some salt.
And all of the method for all of this is always in the description, so any of the quantities and everything will all be there for you. But fried rice is one of those things. It can be a bit like however you feel like you want it to taste, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But a nice balance of salty sweet is really great.
Yum.
And we've got one more Christmas hero to go in here.
What is it?
Cherries.
Yum. So
I've got some fresh cherries and I've just pitted them and cut them in half.
Can't say that I've ever had cherries in my fried rice before.
There you go. Today you can. So there we go. There we go. So
did you miss again?
No, I caught it.
Well done.
So the cherries will be that nice crunch and sweet as well, and they will work perfectly well with this fried rice. Yum.
You want to be stirring this? I feel like I'm struggling with this.
No, you're doing well. I'm going to turn that off.
I'd be shaking the pan around.
Would you?
You don't like me doing that, do you?
So then we just take that fried rice straight into the bowl. This is something that the kids, I reckon, would really love because they can get the fork into those big chunks of glazed ham. Look at that, see the beautiful colour.
If you're about the kids.
On top. Would you hold that pan for me?
This is for the adults.
There we go.
I mean, include the minute, but this is not just about the kids.
Yeah,
that is a big bowl of fried rice.
Yeah, it's a good.
Looks delicious.
Nice big bowl.
What a way.
I'm going to use my fingers to put a big chunk of that on top.
Nice.
And then I'm going to garnish it with a couple of whole cherries because it's Christmas.
I can let go of this.
You can let go of that now. And I'm just got a nice little sprig of mint.
Bit of mint.
Just to make it a bit Christmassy as well.
Mate, check out that leftover Christmas ham. Never looked so good in its life.
Done. Look at that.
Beautiful. Wowee, wowee. So what a great way to use leftovers at Christmas time. Yep. Thank you for teaching us this today, Dunk.
Yep. And I just want to ask one quick thing. If people did want to find out more about that salvation,
Yeah, if you want to know
That
more
love.
about that love that God showed us through Jesus Christ, there is a link in the description to a website that explains all of that. If you want to get in contact with us, you can do it that way as well. Thank you so much for joining us for PastorChef today. There's one more in the Christmas series coming up next week as well, so join us for that, and we will see you in the next one.
Don't forget to subscribe.